recording, girl. Stop.
Sorry. Hey guys.
Bye. Oh my gosh. I'm just sitting here listening to her be in the moment when her alleged abuser was doing what he was doing to her, and how he's whispering in her ear, and she's a child, your child. Oh my goodness. Whew. So Tasha K asked Miss Chantel if she's ever had any therapy. And Miss Chantel says no. Well, that's interesting, because the father said that he paid for therapy from his own insurance for her. I remember him saying that he referenced paying for her therapy with his insurance. He even said she admitted to the things she did wrong, being her, it was her fault. What happened to her was her fault. Huh? Wait a minute. She said no, she did not. Miss Chantel said she did not go to therapy. Yeah, so I'm listening to Miss Chantel go into the situation that happened with her and her ex, and I heard her say that she was driving back. Hold on, I'm gonna listen to it real quick. She said, so her and her ex got in their last physical fight. It was the day after Christmas. They were driving from Oklahoma back to South Carolina, and they got in a physical fight while they were driving, and that's what broke the camel's back.
No, I'm telling her.
And so she called the father and told the father everything that was going on, and the father offered her to stay with him. That's very interesting that she brings up the day after Christmas and driving back with the ex and stuff like that, when the father had a whole elaborate story surrounding Christmas time about it being his birthday and everything and all that other stuff. That's interesting. So the daughter is saying that during the time that her father was doing this to her, she was the only girl that her father had custody of. That's interesting. She was the only girl that her father had custody of, and her father has 18 children. That's very interesting to me. So, I think it's the way, or I think it's the delivery for me with Tasha K and the way she asked this question. But when she was asking, when she was talking about, oh my gosh, the dad, when the dad went to prison, and Tasha K, he said he went to prison for stabbing a guy, and Miss Chantel says, well, yeah, I remember him going to jail. He went to jail for like 3 years, and it was for attacking his ex-wife and her brother. And then Tasha K was like, no, it was for stabbing. What? It was for stabbing? I said, the way she said it, no, he went to prison for stabbing. It had nothing to do with stabbing his ex-wife and his brother. So it sounds like Tasha K is acting like she's so confident in that answer. That answer is the end all, okay? What the fuck? That's what it sounds like. How can you can't talk a matter of factly about somebody else's situation? Because your whole understanding surrounding that situation could be completely wrong. Completely disorganized and unstructured. So she was there. I mean, she would know. This is her fault. Why would she know and you do? Because you read it. I mean, the circumstances surrounding that situation are going to be known to the people who were around then. That's all I'm saying. And then I like the fact that Miss Chantel was like, did you have a date? And Sasha K is like, well, we don't have the date right now, but we're going to get it. Interesting. Oh, yeah. Yep. Okay. So the father wasn't in prison, he was in jail. He was in jail. And then awaiting trial, and then when he went to trial, he beat the case. But this was the case for stabbing somebody in self-defense. Who was the somebody? Who was the somebody? Who was the somebody? Who did you stab? And Tasha K is saying she couldn't find any domestic violence about Chantel's dad anywhere. How interesting. Because I believe that the father did say that he had everything from his record has been removed. You won't find anything about his cases. I thought he said he had them removed, everything cleared off his record. Didn't he say that? all the charges were dropped. You won't be able to find any charges on my record. And the daughter can't believe that Tasha K could find nothing on her dad. So she's in disbelief, like for real. And Tasha K is saying that she also couldn't find any kind of charges out there on Chantel's father of alleged abuse on a minor. Like child abuse, and none of that. And she's saying that she can't find anything. Talking about she didn't find anything that linked him to any abuse of children. Does that mean that it didn't happen, Tasha K? Because you couldn't find anything that linked him, does that mean that it didn't happen, Tasha K? I mean, is that what you're insinuating? Yes or no, ma'am? Yes or no? That because you can't find the records, that they are not written. Is that what you're saying? I'm just saying. Like, what are you saying? Because, no. I mean, and the daughter is like, you mean what? Because she knows otherwise. So she can't believe that Tasha K could not find anything on this man. And from the look of Miss Chantel's face, she knows for sure that that is not the case. That her father has been accused, or her father has had some type of situation around this before. That's what I'm getting from her, from Miss Chantel. And Miss Chantel is saying that the father has CPS cases going as far back as outside. So it's interesting how Miss Chantel's story is so conflicting with what the father is saying. For a man who claims that his daughter would speak to him about anything, that he made his children feel welcome to talk to him about anything, that she would be saying something going against what he's saying. Now, why is she doing that? Why is she doing that? Something's not right here. Something is not right here. Something is not right here. I mean, when the dad was telling the story and the ex-wife was backing him, he was narrating this story as if Chantel was the culprit here. As if she was the one who had all those cases. And she was the abusive one who victimized him. So, but Miss Chantel was the one who had the CPS cases. Let him tell it. But Miss Chantel said, no, it was him. He's the one who has. So she's saying that he is the one who had plenty of CPS cases on him. And he did tell Tasha K that he had a lot of allegations against him. But he didn't go into specifics about what they were, about what those charges were. He just said that you're not going to be able to find anything on his record remember he referenced being someone in jail charged with molesting a child. He made reference to that when he was talking to Miss Tasha K. So, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay, so y'all remember when the father said that the Palm Beach County Police said that Miss Chantel told them that there was a teacher and a principal that molested her as well. And hold on. So, like I was saying, I do not like how Tasha K is coming off with her questions. They are very insensitive. They're direct and very insensitive and almost accusatory to an extent, because they're all based off of what she was told by the other family members. Okay, because she wasn't there and she doesn't know, unless she has exact records on and it tells exactly what happened on that day. She doesn't know. She got her information from other sources in the situation. So I don't like that type of questioning. But furthermore, I find it interesting that Miss Chantel says she never told anybody anything like that. She said she never told anybody anything like that about a teacher and a principal molesting her or abusing her. She said she never said that. Miss Chantel said she never accused anybody of R-wording her or molesting her other than her father. She said I'm accusing my father because that's the one who did it. Okay. So her alleged abuser is who she's accusing. She didn't accuse anyone else of that behavior. So she's coming out and saying, I didn't accuse anybody else. I accused my abuser. So that's very contradicting to what the father is alleging. It's a conflict. It's another conflict. And if y'all don't believe that this father is hiding something, something is wrong. Something is wrong. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. You need to wake up. And I'm telling you, when Miss Chantel is speaking, she is very a matter of fact. Very a matter of fact when she's speaking. And like I said, it ain't no jumping around. It ain't none of that. She's speaking clearly. You can understand everything she's saying. She's making everything clear. If you need clarity on something, she ain't making excuses. She's telling you. In a matter of fact way, every time, the same time, and the same thing. So that's what I'm getting from her. She says, she told Tasha K, I don't know where you getting your facts from, but, and I mean, like that. And then Tasha K gonna say, so your father's the only one who ever touched you, and that's it. Nobody else. What kind of fucking question is that? Like, why are you asking her? Why are you asking her that question? And why are you taking that tone with her when you're asking that question? What the hell are you, like, what was that question for? I mean, what kind of question is that? I don't know what kind of question that was. But when Tasha K asked her that question, so you ain't never been all worried about, so it's been just your father and nobody else. What? What do you mean? And Miss Chantel was like, yes, it was my father and my brothers. So she's still saying the same thing. Even with Tasha K, she's saying the same thing. Her story is not changing. It is the same. Regardless of what the others are trying to say, her story has not changed. She's not stumbling. She's very clear. And she's clearing up shit. So I don't see where she's, I don't see what the lie, where she's lying. I don't see that she is given a reason for us to be fuzzy. I mean, I don't see it. I feel like she's being very forthcoming with all her information. And what she's saying has not changed. It's still the same. I told you even the daddy slipped up and said what the caseworker told him, supposedly. The caseworker whose name was Mr. Love or Love. What's the last name? And what did that caseworker say? If you listen to it, listen to what that father says. And then, I'm telling you, she said that her two older brothers have definitely touched her. And her father has definitely touched and R-word her. So she's saying that, so Tasha K asked her, when does her father start the alleged actions? And she says, Miss Chantel said this had to be after, this was after he got out of prison. This was after he got out of prison. Now, he was not clear about when he got out of prison. He was not clear on that. He was not clear on that. He was not clear. He did not give any dates surrounding the time that he got out of prison. All he said was, I wasn't even around her when at 11. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to listen to what the father said about the prison situation. Because what I can tell you that I remember is that the father was not clear about his dates and its events, you know, of when he got out and what age was she when he got her. It wasn't clear, but he did say he got his kids back after he got out of prison. He did say that. He just wasn't clear about how old she was or how old they were. I want to say I remember the father saying that he got Chantel around the age of 13. Yes, he said Chantel came to live with him when she was 13. So this was after he got out of prison. Just like Miss Chantel said, this was after he got out of prison, but the father made it seem like it wasn't until Chantel was 13. He said he didn't get his daughter back until she was 13. Because I remember saying that there was an inconsistency with that age. I remember when Tasha K was asking her father. So Tasha K said, so there was abuse done to her. he had just said that he wasn't gonna lie on Miss Chantel's mother. I think the mother's name is Loretta, but don't quote me. But he had just said that he wasn't gonna lie on Loretta, that Loretta never abused Chantel. But then it only leaves one other person as far as parental guidance goes. So what the father says is, yeah, she was abused. She was abused. I ain't gonna lie about that. She was abused. But it wasn't me. And you want us to believe that it wasn't you simply because you say it wasn't you. But you don't want us to believe that you did this to her because she's saying that you did this to her. Why should we believe you, Mr. Clarence Freeman, and not your daughter? Because I can tell that man has serious emotional drought, if you will. I mean, he's lacking emotional intelligence as it pertains to these allegations that his daughter is asserting. He lacks the typical instincts or relationship with the situation that a father should have with the daughter in this situation, where a daughter is asserting this type of abuse from her father. The link is not there for him. And that tells me that there is a disconnect in this father-daughter dynamic here. There's a disconnect stemming from the father. There is a disconnect. That's what I see. So I went back and listened to the father. And the father, Tasha K asked, how old she was when he got her. And remember, the father was trying to say that Chantel did go through some things with her mother, but she was too young to remember. What? Talking about she couldn't tell you who did what to her because she was only like 3 years old. Yeah. Nah. So the father is saying that Chantel was 4 when he received custody of Chantel. But Miss Chantel said that her and her brother went into foster care when she was like 4. So there's a discrepancy. That's another discrepancy. So she was 4, but he was about to turn 6. So the dad is saying that he had custody of them ever since they were 4. But Chantel said that they were in foster care when she was 4. The dad said he wasn't able to get them out of foster care for 7 to 8 months. So how can you can't have it both ways, sir? It doesn't work that way. You said it took you about 7 to 8 months to get them out of foster care. So how can you also say that you had custody of them ever since Chantel was 4? What? How have you had custody of them ever since she was 4 if they was in foster care when she was 4? That's a lot of stuff that happened when she was 4. That's a lot of stuff. You saying you had her ever since she was 4. You had custody of her ever since she was 4. But how you gonna turn around and say it took you about 7 to 8 months to get them out of foster care? Like, you can't have it both ways, sir. They either was in your custody, which means they were not in foster care, or they were in foster care and you had to go and get them. Come on now. Come on. Because otherwise you didn't have custody of them ever since they was 4. Miss Chantel was 4. No, you couldn't have had custody of her and she was still in the foster system at the same time. No. And then you admitted that it took you 7 to 8 months to get her and her brother out of foster care. So you can't have it both ways. This is what happens. You start poking holes in stories and the lies will be uncovered. The lies will be uncovered, okay? I am telling you that there is something not right here going on with this father. I'm telling you there's something going on with this father.